Today on Review This Thing, we're going to review this thing, the Ororo Heated Vest. This is Adrian with Review This Thing. Now, I don't particularly like being cold. Sometimes that doesn't work out too well because I also really like to hunt, which oftentimes means I'm sitting outside in the cold. But if you're like me, you've seen these heated vests all over social media and wondered, could those things really work? Well, I figured out there was really only one way to find out. So I picked up this Ororo Wear heated vest and figured we would give it a try. Now, I know the vest that I'm wearing is camouflage, but Ororo Wear does make a lot of other jackets, hoodies, vests in solid colors too. If you're wondering, are these heated vests going to keep you warm at a ball game or at work, then hopefully this review is going to help you out too. I put it to the test doing some waterfowl hunting, hog hunting, and some turkey hunting, so let's review this thing. As always on Review This Thing, we're going to cover the facts. The first part is fit. So the vest that I'm wearing is a men's extra small. Now Ororo does have women's vests, but they didn't have one in a camouflage, and my primary reason for having it was hunting, so that's why I went with the men's. Most of the time if I'm buying a jacket or a vest for hunting, I'm going to buy a men's size anyway, because I feel like a lot of times women's jackets, shirts are cut too narrow, and I feel like they kind of squish my ribs, and they don't leave a lot of room for base layers either. Now I will mention here that I started with a men's small. Based on the sizing chart, I really could have gone small or extra small, and I wanted to be able to put layers underneath it, so that's why I picked small to begin with. I will say that the small fits a lot more like a medium. My husband usually wears a medium and things like this, and the small fits him really, really well. His chest measurement is about 40 inches and his waist is right about 34. My waist is about 29 inches and the chest is about 34, 35 inches. So I would say the sizing on the chart may be off just a little bit because the extra small definitely fits me better. So keep that in mind. You may be able to order a size down. Obviously, this is a straight fit, so that leaves plenty of room for those base layers I talked about. You can also see there's plenty of room in the armpit. It's a really good length. It's long enough to where it's going to cover everything, but when you sit down, you're not going to run the risk of sitting on it and pulling it down. Now, another component of fit is the weight. With the battery in, it weighs right at 26 ounces. It's not so heavy that it's a problem, and for what it does, I think it's totally worth it. Now, as far as scoring fit, I really like the way that this extra small fits me, but because the vest doesn't match up perfectly with what the sizing chart says it should, I'm going to take a little bit off and give fit a 4 out of 5. Now is the Ororo Heated Vest as advertised. The first thing that they advertise is that it is wind and water resistant. Now, because this is a vest and not a jacket, I didn't take it out and go stand in the rain or anything like that. I did, however, wear it waterfowl hunting. I did notice when we were riding the boat or whenever we were picking up decoys, walking through the field, water splashing, and it was able to just rub right off. I can tell you it has a really high wind resistant factor. I've worn this several times when we've gone shooting to the range, and the only thing that got cold were my arms where the vest wasn't covered and my face. And one day during turkey season, I wore this vest because it was really windy and cold. The area that was covered by the vest was completely warm. Ororo also advertises it has up to 10 hours of battery life. So the vest has 3 different settings. On high, it's red, medium is white, and low is blue. On high, they say it'll last about 3 hours, but we actually found it lasted for about 4 hours. On medium and low, we matched up exactly and it got around 6 hours and then 10 hours respectively. They also advertise that it's perfect for layering. I have mentioned this is an excellent layering system. Plenty of room underneath for base layers, and it's not so big and bulky that you can't also have an outer layer over the top. I have worn it as an outer layer several times skeet shooting. I will tell you, the first time I wore it, I was kind of disappointed because it wasn't colder outside. And then as soon as I took it off, I immediately got really cold. So that helped me know that, in fact, it was working a lot better than I was giving it credit for. And like I said, it works great as a mid layer too. I wore it snow goose hunting and duck hunting and was able to wear an outer layer over the outside and have plenty of room and still be very comfortable. The morning it was like 14 degrees, I definitely wore it under my outer layer. And I'll tell you, I stayed really warm and I didn't even have to turn on the heating elements all that often. And I attribute that a lot to just how warm the vest was in general. And it stayed pretty cold that day, but I actually had to take off my outer layer about midway because I was getting too warm. When I wore it hog hunting and I actually turned the heating element on, I was much warmer than I was before. So far, this vest does exactly what Ororo says it will. So I'm going to give, as advertised, a 5 out of 5. Now on to construction and durability. So the first thing I want to tell you in terms of durability is to make sure you read and follow the directions for caring for your vest. You can either hand wash it or you can wash it in a garment bag on a gentle setting and then never put it in the dryer. Hopefully that just makes sense. But they also say to limit how much you're going to try to wring it out because you don't want to damage those carbon wires that are in there that are the heating elements. I've probably washed this thing 15 or more times, and so far it has held up great to that. I've also run the battery down several times and recharged it just to make sure that's going to keep working, and so far it's held its charge really well too. Now I do want to talk about some design features that I really like about construction. First, there are a lot of pockets, which is great. There are upper chest pockets that are small small, so it may be good for things like calls or something like that. Each side of the chest has a zipper pocket, and inside the left pocket is where the power switch to the heating elements is located, so you can get to it pretty easily, and it's inside the pocket, so the light from it isn't going to be visible to your game. There are also 2 zipper pockets on the side at your waist, as well as 2 flat pockets that are secured with a very quiet magnet, and I really like that feature. There are also 3 zipper pockets on the inside. One of those is where the battery is housed, and on the back are some really big mesh pockets. I haven't really used that for much, but I'm sure there are plenty of possible reasons. If you have one of these vests and you use those for something specific, comment below and let us know. Next, there are 4 primary areas of heating. 2 near the front pockets, 1 in the mid upper back, and then in the neck. The only thing I initially wondered was if that heating element in the back, maybe if it was lower, might warm up around the kidneys a little more to keep you warmer, but so far it's done great and I haven't noticed it not being warm enough. I will tell you the neck warmer and the hand pocket warmers is really nice. And also it uses very lightweight insulation, so that's why this can be so warm but be as light as it actually is. Another neat feature that I somehow missed was that battery also has a USB port, so if your phone is dying and you have a cord, you can also plug your phone in to charge from the battery. And a final feature I want to point out about this vest specifically is that the material is very soft and very quiet. It's not going to make a ton of noise when you're walking or when you're moving around in a stand. So overall, I've been extremely impressed with this vest. I'm going to give construction and durability a 5 out of 5. Now on to testimonials and reviews. You know the deal. We go and we try to find as many reviews as we can and figure out what are the complaints people have. Really the only complaint I could find was somebody said that the mesh pockets in the back kind of came apart and fell off the vest. Now maybe just because I haven't used them, I haven't seen any issues of that, but that really was the only complaint that I could find. So for testimonials and reviews, a 4.4 out of 5. And finally, should you buy this thing? So far, I have been super happy with it. So much so that whenever I figured out the small size was too big for me, instead of returning it to get an extra small, we just kept it. I've been really happy with how warm this vest has kept me even without the heating element on, and then additionally how much warmer and more comfortable I have felt when I've turned it on. While we were snow goose hunting, several people in our party were commenting about how cold they were, and I can honestly say, other than my feet and my face, I never really got cold at all. And that was when the ground was frozen and we were walking on ice. Now the Ororo Heated Vest does retail for $199, which is definitely not cheap. I was able to get a discount code for you, so you can get 20% off. So if you'll look in the description and the comments, you should be able to see that. There are less expensive vests out there, but I haven't tried those, so I can't tell you how those work. But I can tell you that this vest definitely works. And I know that so far this Ororo vest has done exactly what they said it would. So because of that, I'm gonna have to give, should you buy this thing, a 5 out of 5. Hey, thanks for watching our Ororo Heated Vest review video. While you're here, check out several other of our videos, share them with your friends. If you like them, click that thumbs up. If you really like it and you haven't, do us a huge favor and subscribe. Also, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We also have a Review This Thing podcast that you can listen to on multiple platforms, and check out our website, reviewthisthingtv.com.